Hey, I'm joined today with Ryan Carruthers with the Membership Mastery. And today we're going to be talking about how to use your podcast to build a profitable membership program. I love membership programs, Ryan. I mean, they are it's like one to many. It's easier on the business owner, but you're serving so many people, and it's such a great strategy to create a six-figure business for yourself. So can you kind of, for those that maybe don't really quite get it, or they're like, I don't know about membership programs, why don't you tell us why you love them so much?
Oh, yeah. Well, firstly, it's great to be here. Thank you very much for having me. Um, I I love memberships because, well, firstly, the first reason I love them is I had a daughter this year who is nearly 9 months old now, and
Aw.
I was able to take 6 weeks off, fully off, when she was born because of my membership. So
Ooh.
yeah, but just because of the way I built it, I built the team and a few other different things like that. It enabled me to earn a really, really good income. And it also enabled me to maximize my freedom and my time.
Yeah.
So I currently take Tuesday afternoons and Friday afternoons off, and I spend time with my
Sweet.
wife and daughter. I know. And there's no drop in payment for me.
Yeah.
But then there's also no drop in results for my members. So you get to earn the income that you want on your terms. You get that to recur, and you also get to create amazing, amazing results for your members. Like one of my members, Joe, she has just added $4,862 per year to her business in 6 weeks by working with me. And that's going
Nice.
towards her son's autistic school. She needed
Oh,
$15,000 a year. So it's just amazing. I mean,
yeah.
like I get to do that. I get to spend time with my daughter, and I get to have fun every day. Why would you not want that? And
I
you
know
get
that
to
is
build that.
the true the true why and the end goal, right?
Yeah, it's like all of that rolled into one. You get to teach a subject that you love. You
Yeah.
get to earn the money that you deserve to earn as well for the skill that you have spent so many years building and learning your craft. And you get to have fun, like so much fun. And
That's awesome.
I think one of the preconceptions is that they're really, really hard work and you have to be in them all the time. You don't. You just need
Yeah.
to build it on your terms. You just need to set the gateposts and the goalposts from day one and tell people what they're getting. People don't expect to have access to you 24 hours a day.
Yes.
But if you
So
say,
true.
I'm going to be available in my community every day between these hours, that's when people will then be active. So yeah, I can't wax lyrical about memberships enough. I love them. They're great. They've provided me an amazing life over the last 10, 11 years. And
Sweet.
yeah, I love them.
Good for you. Now, there are different kinds of membership programs, and I want to touch upon this just briefly before we kind of go into using podcasts to build or grow one. Because some people may have misconceptions of what a typical membership program looks like.
Yep. Yeah. So you've got lots of different types of memberships that they sort of all fall under a couple of categories. So it's mainly like a coaching style information educational type membership.
Mhm.
This falls in the sort of terms of like Netflix effectively because you're paying for content, those kind of things, or where you pay somebody to learn from them, to have access to them, to be in a community, to be able to ask questions, to do weekly coaching calls or challenges or those kind of things. That's like the first sort of membership. And then the second one is where you get access to like a box type membership. So we send you a box every
Right.
month, and then there's books or whatever it may be. There's like the third type, which is like gyms, for example. So you get access to
True.
a building. That's realistically all
Yeah.
there is. Nice
All
and
right.
simple.
Well, that was an easy description. That really helped to simplify it all. Now, you obviously have the Membership Mastery podcast,
Hmm.
and I'm assuming that you have grown your membership program using it, and I'll probably teach your members to do the same as well. What is the value in launching a podcast to grow your membership program?
Oh man. So I have two memberships. I have the Membership Mastery, and then I have one called Betfair Trading Community. Betfair Trading Community has been going for 11 years.
Oh,
There's like
wow.
600 people in there. every single person without fail who has signed up to that membership, when we ask, where did you hear about us? They say podcast or YouTube. That's like without fail. So using a podcast is so, so good. And I think if we break down why, well, people listen to podcasts usually when they're doing something and it's quite routine. So for me, for example, I quite like washing the pots. It's really, really sad. I know.
You're weird,
really,
Ryan.
Really sad. I know. I'm so weird. But it's just like a really mind-numbing task. I get to listen to a podcast while I do it. So every time I wash the pots, I listen to podcasts that I want to learn. And so that's my routine.
Nice.
Other people listen to it in the gym. Yeah. So it's that real personal connection that you get to have with your listener. And they get to see your personality. They get to hear your quirks and the way you talk. And it's almost like a bit of a try before you buy. You can.
I like that line.
Yeah, thank you. I'm going to tell my wife that
I'm going to steal that one.
Yeah. I'm going to tell my wife I was very smooth on the podcast. So like, you might not believe me, but I was actually very smooth. Yeah, you get to try before you buy. You know, people listening to your podcast go, oh yeah, do you know what? That's great. I really, really, really like what that lady's talking about, and she really knows her stuff. And when you're building a membership, one of the things that you're trying to do is you're trying to develop know, like, and trust factor with your audience. A podcast is one of the best ways to do that because you can really, really create that know, like, and trust factor for your audience, and you can really get personal with them. You know, you can include them in the show. You can get them to be part of the show by emailing in or even inviting them on. Some of my most successful episodes have been where I've done hot seats with people who want memberships. And if you pick up that apart, it's like, well, the person on the podcast wants a membership. I'm the expert on memberships. I bet a lot of people listening to this also have the same problem. They're going to see how I solve the problem and go, I need to work with Ryan. I need to work with Ryan. So for me, it's really about creating that connection. Yeah. And building an asset. It's like you can leverage the podcast to create an email list. You can really get to know your audience. You can then, if you want, put sponsorship on there. You can do loads and loads of different things with it. And do you know what? They're fun. They are so fun. I have so much fun with my podcast. I get to do guests. Like I get to build my network. Gives you a reason to reach out to people as well.
That is so true. It's a foot in the door, right?
Some of the people that I've met because of this podcast and the conversations that I've had before and after that podcast, they've changed my life and my business. So yeah, podcast, great for membership. Tribe is like a try before you buy, know, like, and trust, and you can get to show that consistency of you are good at what you do.
So do you feel that you need to have your own podcast, or can you use podcast guesting? Like, is there a better way, or does it depend?
I think either, to be honest. And I say that to my students, you know, one of the best ways to build your audience is to go on other people's podcasts.
Absolutely.
Because you can go on, you can answer questions. Again, it's try before you buy. It's your immediately an authority because somebody has taken the time to check you out and go, that person will be good for my audience. So then that's one check. The know, like, and trust is there. And then you can relax and just, all you need to do then is just be good at what you know. So, because like when you meet people, you want to do two things, don't you? You want to be liked and you want to show your authority. With podcast guesting, the know, like, and trust factor, the likability is already checked because the host has endorsed you. So if they have a relationship with you, then I'm hoping people are listening going, yeah, Ryan's all right. And then it's just down to me to just tell you what I know.
Yeah, I love that. You have a really good way of simplifying things to make it make sense.
I am a very, very much a very, very simple man.
It's a good thing, like, Ryan. It's a good thing.
Simple. Yep.
So if you're a guest on a podcast or you have your own podcast, how do you like attract, and then also how do you convert?
Oh, this is such a good question. So this is like playing into my two favorite things.
Yay.
Like when we break down, like apart from Liverpool Football Club and my daughter and my life, it's like podcasts and emails are the best things that have happened to my life. Okay. Because I don't care what anyone says, email marketing is still key. It is still the best. They're just the best chance to convert people. And it's not sexy though. It's not TikTok videos with like headphones tangled up and all of this kind of thing, but it lasts and it works and it's just great. So you go on somebody else's podcast, you can send them to a landing page to download something of value that you have for free. And then they can go through an email sequence to convert to your membership. Now, one of the best ways to do this is to give them a free training via like an email challenge.
Yeah.
So to say something like, go and download my offer training. So I actually do this. Like if people want to download if they go to my website, they can download how to create a killer offer for their membership. It's step-by-step. It's everything that you need to know to build a killer offer for your membership. The next day in that email sequence, I send you a podcast episode of me talking you through that process because I want you to listen to my podcast and I also want you on the email list. So you can do the exact same thing. You could say to people, say you teach people how to do an Ironman, for example. You could say, I know, I have a member that does this. And she's like, yeah, it's easy. I'm like, yeah, all right, not happening. You could say, I'm going to give you everything that you need to do your first Ironman over the next 5 days. So you can go download that at this website. Then what happens? They go from the podcast, they download that guide, and you just send them the emails that you promised them. So day 1, this is what you need. Day 2, this is what you need. Day 3, this is what you need. 4, 5. Then at the end of that, you can just be conversational with them and ask them if they are ready to join your membership, if they're interested in joining your membership. So you really don't need to overcomplicate it. It's like send them to a page, give them something of value from where they're at, take them where you want them to be ready for your membership, then make the offer to them. You have been a guest on a show, provided value, they've got some key takeaways, then they can go through your email list, get to know you a little bit more, providing more value, then you can make the offer to convert them to a member and then just rinse and repeat basically.
Yeah. Absolutely. And the key there for me is like attracting them with an offer. So your lead magnet, nurturing them and giving them value, and then going in for the ask and the call to action. And that's trying to convert them to your membership program. So just like bing, bang, boom. Again, like you said, you don't have to overcomplicate it.
Nope, don't overcomplicate it. I mean, my best performing email, I haven't changed for like 8 years.
Oh, wow.
I know, because it's so good. And I'll like, I don't know how many people I've shared this with, but I'll share it with you. So the subject line is just you plus me equals the dynamic duo. And then it's the first email that they get in the sequence, delivers the lead magnet, and it just goes, this isn't like any other email list you've ever been on. I'm not actually going to ask you for the sale right now because my membership isn't open. It only opens at specific points during the month, of which I will let you know if you want. But when it comes to trading, what is your biggest challenge? That gets me so many email opens, and that ends up getting me so many members. If you think about your emails as the way you would text a friend, write them like that. Agora Financial, one of the biggest selling copywriters in the world, like we're talking billions of dollars, say anything over a grade 5 will not work. So what that means is any copy, any email that you send or sales letter that you write that's over a grade 5 just doesn't convert as well. So you can go to Hemmingway App. It's free. You can type your email into there and it will tell you what grade it is at. So then it will, yeah. So that will then tell you the words that you need to replace. It highlights them, says don't use this one. That with Grammarly will write you emails that will convert, and you just need to keep them really simple. So think about how you text a friend. Write your emails that way. Conversational, get them to reply, have a conversation. And then if they don't buy, just have a very, very simple email that's like, hey, I built this thing. I thought you might like it. Obviously, I was wrong. Can you please just let me know and tell me why it wasn't for you? And most people that go through my email sequence are like, look, I'm just not ready yet. I'm thinking about a membership, or I've got too many, and then I can actually provide more value and go, let me help you. So yeah, keep it simple.
And I think the key with that strategy that you have is asking them a question to get them to reply. It's like making sure that it is not just, you giving information it's that getting that interaction and that engagement, and like actually having a conversation through email.
Mm-hmm. And then the secret there is if they reply to it, you directly go into their primary inbox.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
Every email you send after that is going to land. So you better make sure you send good emails.
Yes, I love that. Because really, like, I've seen some emails that, I sign up for a lot of marketers just to see what they're writing about and their style. And some of them are very verbose and very long and very a little over the top, because people, I guess, are trying to, showcase themselves as the expert. But in doing so, they're probably actually alienating their audience versus connecting.
Oh, 100%. And that's a really, really good tip for people to do as well, I have a separate email address, which I sign up to interesting ads that I see with.
Yeah.
And I set a reminder on Asana to go through them. Like if I sign up to somebody's email address, we won't name names, I'll wait 7 days, I'll set a reminder, and then I'll just go through their emails and see what sequence they sent me.
Yeah.
And then see which emails land well, which ones don't. And then from there, I can just tweak the emails in my style and take what I like about them and then just use them. And that's a really, really good tip as well. If you've got, like, if you're new to a niche.
Totally.
Because you can then see all of the problems. They've done all the work for you. They'll tell you all of the problems that your audience have got. So say you want to create a podcast, you're helping women make money online or make better investment decisions online, whatever it may be. You could then find your competitors, just sign up to their email list, sign up to their Facebook groups, and just go through the questions. You've now got unlimited ideas for your podcast.
Yeah.
But then you also had that other element where if you're in a Facebook group and there's a tough question that nobody's answering and you don't know how to answer it, you can do two things. You can answer that question in the group, which demonstrates your authority straight away. You can then create a podcast episode on it as well. So then on your profile, you could have your podcast. So people are snoopy, aren't they?
Yes, like, they are.
Oh, who's this lady who's just answered my question? I was really, really
who doesn't do that? And then you
that.
go down a rabbit hole and you totally check the person out.
Check the person out, you hit their Facebook profile. I mean, we spoke about this before we went live, like, oh yeah, Facebook and Slack, we just lose hours on it. So I'd go check your profile out. Oh, I see you have a podcast. Oh, it's about women who want to make better investment decisions. I'm a woman. I want to make better investment decisions. I'm going to listen to your podcast.
So true. I love that. Some really good tips. Hey, what was that website that you were saying again, where you type in the stuff and it simplifies it for you?
Yeah, so it's called Hemmingway App.
Hemmingway App.
So it's really, really good. Yeah. It's free. It's totally free. So you just type your... so do I. You type your content in, you type your email in, and then it will highlight what grade it's at. You make a few changes, you get it simplified.
That is such a great tip. And so, like, in regards to attracting and converting using your podcast, do you like mention your membership program like in your intro? Do you do a commercial? Like at what point in your podcast or even on your show page do you have that call to action? Like, where can we use that strategy?
Yeah, great question. So on the show page, there's a sign up button on the actual website. Yeah. So they'll see that straight away. In my show, I don't necessarily always mention the membership. What I will do is I will mention wins that my members have had. So I will casually drop into conversation, maybe members' names, some of the wins that they've had. And then every so often I will actually mention the membership. If I'm doing a special on the membership, then I will do that. But what I have found 100% to do is make sure that I time and date that. If I'm saying the first 50 people as of this recording on the because the weird
Oh
thing
yeah.
with podcasts is you'll find people just inhale your back catalogue. And then if you don't do that, they go, I want your membership. And you said it was £17
I
or
know.
whatever. And you
You
go,
do have to be careful with time sensitive stuff.
yeah, you're like, that was 3 years ago. So just make sure you do that. But I mentioned my lead magnet as well. So that's like the big thing for me, because I want to build the email list. So
yeah,
I mentioned the lead magnet at the start of the show and the end of the show. So go here if you want to go and get this. Then that automatically does the selling for me.
Yes.
And then they go to the page as well and they can sign up. So yeah, for me, it's email list, mention the lead magnet, and also just blend in some of those member examples, because that does the selling for you. One of the other things that I've done that works really, really well is to bring some of my members on the show. So
I love that.
It's so good. Like, it's so good. So Ali, one of my members, she did her first 20K month with one tip that I gave her for her sales pitch live. So it was like, what am I going to do? I'm going to get you on the show to break down exactly what you did. And I didn't ask her to do this. Like, what she said, she was like, everybody listening, go and join Ryan's membership. It is so good. You have got to join. He really knows his stuff. And I'm sat there like proper Brit, like, oh, I don't quite know how to take that. Thank you very much. That's very kind of you. But that's like her unscripted, unprompted, just saying, I got a great result. You should go and join Ryan's membership. And that builds up that know, like, and trust. So yeah, they're the things that I do to sort of get that conversion going. The way I see the podcast as like the introduction. It's like the cheese on the mousetrap. It's bringing you in, and then the rest of your good marketing closes that trap on you.
I like that visual. Poor mouse, but yes.
Yeah, poor mouse.
That is awesome. And that is a really good point, where it's like some people, I think their natural go-to would be like to talk about the membership program. Whereas you're saying kind of like seed it and mention it and like plant those seeds, but your ask really is your lead magnet to pull them into that funnel and then convert them. And it really is it's much more friendly, and it's not going to turn people off. And you're doing it from a place where you're serving. You want to help them with resources.
100%. And you can even pull little bits from your membership and say that. Like, I have done that and said, right, so I pulled this training from my membership. So I put this in the membership like 6 months ago. It's really, really good. And I've decided now to pull that from the membership and deliver it on this podcast. So they know that members got that 6 months ago, and they're going, oh, that was so good, Ryan. Like, I got so much from that. What else is in there? So it's just, you're just seeding it all of the time.
Right. And you're being strategic with your content. You're giving them a taste of what, the members are experiencing or getting. And then of course they want more.
Of course they want more.
I know. These are such amazing tips. Thank you for joining. And yeah, I like how you lay it out of like, yes, you can use a podcast to grow your business, but your tips were very specific on how you can attract and convert specifically for a membership program. That was really good.
Thank you very much.
And so how can people find more about how you can help them? So if you out there are building or wanting to build a membership program, definitely touch base with Ryan, and they need to head to one of two places. It would be remiss of me not to mention my own podcast, wouldn't it? After Absolutely.
I've just been talking about podcasts. So you can search for the Membership Mastery across all of your major platforms. You will find a picture of me with my wife on there. And if you want to go to the website and get the lead magnet, which will teach you how to build a killer offer for your membership, literally step by step, go to themembershipmastery.com.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Really good tips.
Thank you for having me.